It's the D-Day! Woo!
Hey, have you heard about the first female solo traveler to solo drive from London to Lagos? Yes, she has been on the road for over 60 days since leaving London. She just made a stop here in Accra, Ghana. I'll tell you more about her.
We do like this sometimes. What are you gonna do about it?
So here is Pelumi Nubi, a traveler at heart who at the age of 29 has traveled over 80 countries across 6 continents. So after about a year of planning, Pelumi decided to go on her most adventurous trip this year. And about 2 months ago, she set out on a road trip driving from London to Lagos, hoping to travel through 2 continents, 17 countries. A direct flight from London to Lagos should be less than 7 hours, but Pelumi thought, what's the fun in that? Instead, she had her car customized to make it possible for her to sleep in, cook, and wash all for a 2 month road trip driving solo.
So my name is Pelumi Nubi, and I am the first documented solo female traveler to solo drive from London all the way to Lagos. It's been such an adventure. I've absolutely loved every moment of it. It's been high and low, just like life. And I'm just so excited to be out there exploring. In terms of working with creators or mixing up with creators, very important for me to capture the place. So one thing I always said was I wasn't just driving through the countries. I wanted to experience them. I always keep creativities, trying new ideas, capturing more, less creating, more capturing the magic that was already there. And it's been such a joy, from Morocco to the Gambia to right here in Ghana, really finding people that have similar vision as me to showcase Africa as a continent. Because so many times, it's not what the media put out there. We really need to write our own story. If you don't tell your story, someone else will tell it for you. And you cannot be upset when they don't get it right. So it's really important that we go out there and say, this is the reality of what it's like to be an African in the continent. And yeah, it's been an absolute joy.
Awesome. How many weeks long ago did you start this?
So I started this journey, it's been about 60 days, 60 plus days. So it's about more than 2 months. Yes.
How many countries traveled so far?
So everything has been about 14 countries. Right? 13, 14 countries.
Favorite?
That's a hard one. That's a hard
All 3 favorites.
3 top favorites. I would say Morocco was interesting. There was just so much diversity. I had a bad experience, but it was good. Mauritania was quite interesting in the newness of things. And I really, really fell in love with the Gambia. I don't know, there's just something about it. Actually, full circle moment. I was actually meant to do my PhD there 6 years ago. But I was just so nervous. I was like, it's Gambia. I don't know what Gambia is. I looked at it in the map. I saw one tiny country. I was like, no, thank you. So to be able to visit there, where to create like almost a parallel of what your life could have been. Right. And I'm not big on comparison because you never know what could have turned of it. But honestly, the people were really kind, very welcome. They went out of their way, so it really felt like home in a very interesting way. So yeah,
biggest challenge on the road so far.
The border crossing. The border crossing was extremely difficult. It was just the freedom of within Africa travel is not as true as we say it is. I think more work needs to be done from due diligence in terms of the border crossing, the officers being educated about the law, and just really getting them checked. Like when the border officer is drinking on duty, like literally, how can we really be doing this to ourselves? So really putting them, like, who is in control of them? Who is checking that they're doing the right thing? So that's one thing I learned in terms of it's just like, I'm being solo, we're human. Sometimes you can lonely, you want to feel your, companion or whatever. But yeah, the community online have been incredible. Like, it's honestly like I've inherited the whole family, 100,000 plus of them, but it's been a joke.
So when Pelumi made her stop here in Accra, she was hosted by Akosia Shirley here at Dawa Dawa. It was an intimate session with creatives. We had meaningful conversations with bites and drinks on the house. As expected, there were so many questions. She had so much to say, which I'm going to get in a bit. But of course, we were all curious to see how Pelumi had been managing to sleep in her car all this while. And of course, she had a moment to demonstrate.
Sleeping situation time, guys. So when it's time to sleep at night, there's this built-in tablet that opens up this, so you can sleep there. Wait a minute. You have the pillow. I make sure I go a full-size pillow up here, and then I'm gonna try and squeeze in, guys. Normally I'm not this full. And then you come in like this. Let's see if I can do this. And then that's how you sleep. Wow. That's the best. But yeah, it's not the most comfortable, but it makes you humble and makes you grateful for what you have. You know, when I have a proper shower, so we don't play. Right here, there is a whole sink, guys. Just give me a second to reconnect. So, source of water is very important. That's how I didn't die in the Sahara Desert. This is the cooker I never use, so guys, let's just ignore it. It wasn't there. But there's a nice tab if I am cooking or something, or water comes out like that. So you have a hole, you can wash your hands, keep clean, and all of that. Oh wow! So that's basically it. It's just like, you know, a water tank and stuff. So it just keeps everything nice and in there. Sorry, the bowl has broken. That's from the accident. So like, take that out. It's okay. Don't worry. It's not a big deal. But yeah, so that is the sleeping. It's not a lot of stuff you need, and it keeps you humble. So yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. No, for real. Thanks for being part of this journey. Yeah, stuff is my other stuff. Yeah. So yeah, just basically my clothes. She said she really needs my cup. I was.
What did you pack that you found really helpful?
I realized humans, we don't need a lot. So many things I pack, I haven't even opened to use. I pack the whole tent that if I want to change in the middle of the night, you will change in the car quick. You know, I pack cooker like I told you. So we don't need a lot, you know. I enjoyed having like my home, I have a throw, it's like a comfort blanket. So just having something that smelled like home, that was familiar to home. Like I loved having that. You know, transitioning from UK, which was hot, I had winter jackets and stuff that I stopped wearing once I got to Africa. So that was a waste, you know. I was like, I wish I didn't have this, but it was cold when it was cold, you know. Yeah. In terms of what I used every day, like my power bank, you know, just to make sure I was well connected. Even though I was charging to the car all the time, just making sure extra power. You don't need a lot, honestly. You don't. I live out of one bag. Packing cubes are great because then like one dress in one cube, I can just grab and go. I don't have to be thinking of rummaging. But I have one duffel bag. I do laundry, you know, scrubber wash bag. If you don't know them, lobby him right there. Amazing. And shout out to my sponsor Osprey, which is a backpack. So all my bags are from them. Content creation has been so incredible even during this journey. It's almost like my meditative space because I'm just able to, but give yourself grace as well. You know, not all content perform well, all of that good stuff, but tell a story. Let people join you in the adventure. That's something I found to do well. And authentic storytelling. Like that's one thing I really enjoyed about this trip. There were moments when I was crying, there was moments I was screaming, there was moments I was fully immersed in joy. But showing your range of emotion as a human being was very important. And yeah, actually click on that post button because sometimes we overthink it. Like just put it out there. I started my Instagram with 12,000 followers. Recently crossed 200 and something thousand. You know, so it's been an explosive journey. TikTok I started with 200, but almost 80K. So please post the content. If you're sitting thinking, it's okay. They won't come and meet you in your house. The embassy came through. I was able to call some, and it's so sad that we have to contact our embassy to travel freely within Africa. So I used the Nigerian Embassy because I was using a Nigerian passport at that point in time. They were amazing. Same thing Ivory Coast after I had my accident. They're the one that connected me to the mechanic and all of the team that helped me fix the car. So definitely, I think it's worth reaching out. Hopefully, one day we'll get to a point where we don't need to do that. But in this current state, sadly, we have to.
Hi guys, my name is Precious Hannah. I'm a YouTuber. So my question is because solo traveling, it sounds really nice, and you guys make it look really good on social media. But are there times when you're driving yourself crazy, when you're talking to yourself? I mean, they say talking to yourself is like that's where you get the best advice from, right? So it's good to be alone, but 2-3 months just in the car driving. How was that experience? Like, was it a lot of self-reflection? Were you thinking like, wow, I'm really here? I can just imagine like driving, just you, yourself, the road, the car. Yeah. Like, how was that?
See the road, you know. So a lot of my drive were actually in silence. Like I'm just like, oh, it's been 5 hours, you know. So it's very important. When I wasn't doing, I listened to a lot of podcasts. Shout out to Noah, what's his name? Anyways, South African comedian. Trevor Noah, his new podcast, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Plugging it right there, you best pay me. But yeah, really, really good stuff. So that's but you do have a lot of time to think. Like you're like you cannot escape yourself, and that's the joy of solo travel. You really get to know who you like, who you are, what you're able to do, who you stand for, all of that. So one thing about this trip, I didn't want it to be sugar coated. It wasn't all rosy. You guys saw me crying. Yeah. When I was editing, I was like, please don't reduce my bride price, reduce the crying. you know? So, but I wanted to show. I was furious at the Liberian border, like 2 nights, staying here, like, so there was a lot of that. There was a range of emotion. There was pure joy, cross bliss. Like when I crossed Morocco, and it was just like tears of joy because I was just like, wow, this thing I thought was so hard, and I did it so easily. Like, what else in my life am I, overthinking? So there was just so many range of emotion in that moment. But yeah, solo drive is practice. And like I said, I've been for so long. Over time, I got to know, I'm able to do this. I like this. Museum are cool, but maybe not every day, So those kind of things, you just get to know yourself a bit better. I don't think you can maintain. There are some people like I speak once a year. I know they got my back and I got their back. There's going to be always core group of people. I think by year, it's just by kind of the experiences we've gone through together. Giving myself grace that is it possible to keep in touch with every single person I've connected with. And I feel so bad sometimes because almost someone might help you, you've connected so deeply, but once you move, you meet new people and it's just constant movement. Whereby sometimes you have to remind yourself that, oh, I should touch base with this, I touch base with that. So give yourself grace that you will not always be perfect, that's number one. And number two, tell them, communicate that like, hey, life is so quite busy, but let's touch base every time, right? And if you don't hear from me, please hit me up. At least just so that they know what's going on, that you're not just a use and dump or whatever like that. And most times people that authentically, genuinely are kind from the beginning wouldn't also automatically switch. They won't like have expectations per se. But it is difficult, and it's definitely as travelers is one of the tough things because you really connect with some people and you're like, damn, where have you been all my life? And then you're like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a really good question. Lumi is my baby. I think about her like a child. Like I'm really like, you good girl. I know she's an inanimate object, but honestly, this I don't know how to explain it. It becomes almost a bond. In Abidjan, when the accident happened in Ivory Coast, the thought of leaving her behind was like heartbreaking. Like I was like, I cannot, because that's why they anyways. So it was just very important in terms of maintenance before that. Before I left any country, I visited a mechanic. Okay, let's start from the beginning. Before I left the UK, I spent half a day in the mechanic just learning, engine oil change, tire pressure change, water, blah, 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 just general maintenance. I think all women should have those skills, Before then, if my car breaks down, hello, AA. I'm like, there'll be no AA on the road, especially I don't break down company. I need to actually learn these skills. So that was very important for me. Then before I left the country, I took her to the garage. They did like the whole check, if I hear any, I was like, there's a sound, what's going on? They're like, oh, maybe there's a loose screw or something like that. But honestly, from London to now, I've never need to change a tire. Like I'm quite impressed with that. No tire change, no. Yeah, let me touch wood again, because man, I don't want to change the tire from now on. No tire change, nothing. And I think more importantly, the speed is quite important in which you drive. I think most flat tires or busted tires happen when you're going quite fast. I'm a very slow driver. You will disagree, but I agree. I'm a very careful driver, and that really helped. But yeah, just general maintenance, taking out to the garage, just like literally health check before I leave. So I think that really helped as well. How you dealt with it, how it affected your mood, your driving, those type of situations. I know that sometimes when people are embarking on long journeys like this too, there are pills and things you can take so that you antibiotics can take and chill your if you get us to do that. And to be honest, I contemplated those options, but I know that will also come with the other things, extra emotions and stuff. I was like, I'm already on the road. Emotions are high. I don't need it to go higher. So I was against that. So I'm like, let me my natural body just do its thing. I think one thing I gave myself was grace during those periods. I gave myself like, making sure I wasn't sleeping in room. That was I was sleeping in the bed, I could shower twice a day, all of those extra luxury that I didn't have in the rest of the trip. Resting more in those days. I remember my body say, I'm tired. There's days I literally park the car and I'm like, I must nap 1 hour. Let me wake up and and like I think that's it. Just the lots of praise in those periods. Like understand why I'm crying and emotional and why it feels overwhelming and like this is why. So yeah, I think those are the things. I just let it do the natural thing. I didn't repeat it. I took my health things from the UK, so I passed through it. I actually have really bad periods. So I had like extra painkillers and stuff like that, which I had to take almost every 5, 6 hours. I'm strong hypercoding. So yeah, I just managed it the way I will manage it in UK, but with extra grace that if my body's tired, I have to rest.
So after the conversation, we made time for photos and networking. And of course, I went round asking some of my friends how the event felt.
Hi guys, my name is Enna and I run Travels on Instagram and TikTok. I came for the event with Pelumi and I've learned so much and I can't wait to use that in my personal life and for my travels as well.
Hi, my name is Kelechi, and one I am inspired by Pelumi and Lumi's journey, primarily because at the personal level I like to travel myself. I think I identify and I admire the work she does. So today for me was to see in person this woman that has done this awesome journey and done it in a way that has proven that it is possible for many others. I had asked a question specifically about the vehicle, which was, sometimes we tend to forget that she wasn't walking, right? It's literally a vehicle that made it possible to some extent. So I wanted to understand what was the maintenance scheduling, how she was able to take care of the car. And I think one of the things that was very clear was that she had good familiarity about the car. And she also made sure there was checks in every country she went to. And for me, I think that was very helpful takeaway that, if you're traveling with equipment and gear, you have to check on them, make sure they're good. But generally, I think it's exciting for travelers in Accra, in Ghana, in the ecosystem to see another person doing this amazing work. So
Thank you. How have you been, man?
I've been
And indeed, we've all been inspired by this Niger lady's journey. I will encourage you to subscribe to her channel. She has a YouTube channel, yes. So go subscribe to it and catch up with her journey so far, driving from London to Lagos.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lovey Lawson. You're crazy. I miss being on here. Laurie, you're crazy.
I've been planning to sneak up on here. Where do I watch? Here or here?
No, here. This is a lens, but yeah.
Hi
I just want to see who I'm
guys,
short.
I'm Laurie Lawson. I also do what Henrietta does. Henrietta does travel, eh? Me too, I do. Anyway, subscribe to our channel.